End of season two, we see the return of your character. How early on did Christina and Bob tell you about her storyline and the role that she would play in season three?
Oh, I learned about Pei-Ling's storyline at the start of the season, right before we started shooting. They initially started sharing just the first half of the season. I think mainly because they didn't want to overwhelm me. They knew how
Hmm.
much story they needed to tell in the first half. But then I got so excited, I just started to fish. And I I was like, wait, and then does this happen? And then they were like, oh, okay, okay. And then they they shared a little bit more with me. It was great.
Ahead of each season, Christina and Bob sit down with each of the actors and they discuss what they want to see from their characters. What did you want to make sure was part of Pei-Ling's storyline in season three?
Oh my goodness. Well, Christina and Bob are such brilliant storytellers. There actually there wasn't anything more I could hope for in Paling's
Hmm.
storyline, because Paling's her return, her resurrection was already more than I could have ever imagined. And it is in her return that she now has another opportunity to learn and to grow. Throughout season one and two, we experience Pei-Ling as like a character that has already lived,
Yeah.
and she already embodies a wealth of life experience. And so her return offers just another opportunity for new experiences, and to build and rebuild relationships, which I think just adds more dimension to her. And so her entire journey has been just really a tremendous experience.
Yeah. This season, you're essentially getting to play two different characters. What is that process like for you when you're shooting things out of order, and how challenging and fun has it been for you as a storyteller?
Oh my gosh. Oh my God, it has been fantastic. It has been so much fun. Um, First and foremost, like I can't thank our showrunners, Christina and Bob, enough for um, for really blessing me with this huge opportunity, right? To play these brilliantly dynamic and polar opposite characters.
Yeah.
So grateful. Um, the process has been, just really diving into a whole new character, getting to know who she is. What does she sound like? What does a 2,000+ year old magical being sound like, speak like, move like? What is the fire that has been keeping her going all these years? And what is that engine that now drives her,
Hmm.
right now? And so asking all of those questions and diving in, that particular process has been rather meditative. Um, and so I think that the another layer of the process is really just getting to know her so well that when these two characters transition back and forth, that I know them both so well that the
Hmm.
transitions are seamless and
Yeah.
specific. Yeah, and so as a storyteller, to play all of these colors has been just really what's this word that I thought of, that I was like, how would I best describe this? Like it feels like a glorious kaleidoscope.
Like you were saying earlier, the fantasy and the magical aspects of this show have created new opportunities to introduce new dynamics and relationships that we never thought were possible in season one or season two. As Pei-Ling's world has expanded, which has been your new favorite dynamic to explore and why?
Oh my God, Kevin, there's so much to choose from. Why are you making me choose one? Just one? Come on. No, it really, gosh, it feels like, like I'm a kid in a candy store, right? Because um I get to have dynamics and relationships and interactions with everyone. Um, I think first and foremost, what I have really loved is the opportunity to have real time moments with Nikki,
Yeah.
versus flashbacks or in her subconscious. And I love exploring the dynamic with Mei Lee. It's thrilling for my character to meet Nikki's mother, the impetus to her journey to China, and that has
Yeah.
been incredibly exciting. Getting to explore San Francisco with Ryan, getting glammed up by Althea, getting they're going to be part of the Shubi gang. Oh my gosh! And of course, let's not forget just the opportunity to reconnect with Pei-Ling's sister, Jalan.
Yeah.
So that I feel like the overarching, I wouldn't say, maybe it's not the overarching theme, but certainly it's a series of like the dynamics of exploring second chances.
That's definitely been one of the themes of Pei-Ling's journey this season. And that's a perfect segue to this next question. But there's this beautiful scene in episode 307 where Pei-Ling and Jalan are able to reconcile, and you, Yvonne, handle that journey with so much nuance. What was your initial reaction when you read that scene? And as an actress, how did you create the space for yourself to dive into that moment?
Oh, when I first read the scene, my initial reaction was, wow, this is so powerful
Yeah.
and so important. And how do we dive into that? How do we get to a place of reconciliation? And when these two sisters have a history of such of guilt and
Yeah.
resentment and violence, and how do we get there? um, um, and have it be grounded and have it be, and hopefully believable. So I think for me, I did my research and all of that. How do we do that also while also honoring Pei-Ling's Shaolin values as well, right? Because it's all part and parcel, yes. And so there were two ways of entry, if you will, that I found my way in, because and one of them is that a lot of, to me anyway, it resonated with me, that her Shaolin values are kind of similar to the Bodhisattva. Have you heard
Mm,
of that?
I have
A
not.
a bodhisattva is a person who forgoes their own personal peace and or paradise in order to help others in their suffering. So that was one version, and that's not to say that like she is this angel of sorts, because at the end of the day, and this is where the second way in is, that she is at the end of the day human, and she's a daughter and she's a sister, and she spent a lot of time in Shao's source realm, taking taking inventory of her life, I think, and wondering what would she have done differently? Could she do differently? I mean, given the chance. So that the process again is when she returns to learn that Jalan is gone, but then she comes back. She wasn't going to let that opportunity slip by. So,
Mm.
yeah. So I think that all of that is a long way of saying this. That's the journey of arrival, and my hope is that the audience recognizes or can relate to it, resonates, that her need for family
Yeah.
and connection, and her sense of responsibility, and her desire for forgiveness.
Yeah.
And then I hope it landed.
It definitely did. It's one of
Great.
my favorite scenes throughout the three seasons. And speaking of
Mm.
scenes, you've had so many standout moments in this season in particular. Which has been your favorite scene in season three, and which has been the most challenging to film?
What has been okay? I think, oh my God, what has been the most challenging? Okay, I think that if I were to think about what has been the most challenging, because it's something I certainly hadn't done before, and I'm like, oh, this is new to me, is perhaps our most recent episode. I think it was episode 310 when we were shooting out in the quarry. It was raining. There was a pickaxe. It was, I think that there were the elements
Mhm.
of like, so, so there was that. I think that the physical nature of like, oh, how to master this or how to work within this new environment was new to me. But so much fun, so much
Yeah.
fun. And what has been the most fun? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, there's been so many. There's so been many. I don't know. I feel like there's been a roller coaster ride. Like when I think back on episode 5 and like um um jumping out at Eddie when when Xiao takes over. Or get yeah. Oh, that's so hard to say. But I think yeah, I think it's so hard to say. The whole season has just been a
Yeah.
dream.
Anytime you're playing Xiao is it's so creepy in the best way possible. It's terrifying. in,
I thank you.
in, in the last episode, we know that there's still a little bit of Pei-Ling and Xiao. What can you tease about what's ahead for her for the remainder of the season?
Oh my goodness. I'm going to cheat a little bit because I'm going to quote Olivia because she tweeted it. So now I feel like I can say it. But what the only thing I can tease because it's so juicy. It is so emotional. It's
Yeah.
so delicious. So I think at one point, I think she said that she cried so hard, her contact fell out,
Yeah.
and she was blind for the rest of the day. So I'll say that. Yeah, Olivia's contact fell out, and she was blind. That's that's the deep. Like it's so emotional. It's so good. It is so great. Yeah, everyone should tune in.